Okay, so let's use the trapezoid rule using n equal 2, 4, and 8 to estimate this definite integral. Alright, so our first steps are the same as when we were using the midpoint formula. The first step will be to find delta x, which will always be b minus a over n. In this case, that's 18 minus 2. And we'll start with n equal 2. So 18 over 2, 18 minus 2 over 2 is 16 over 2, which is 8. So delta x is 8. As before, x0 is the left-hand side of the integral. x1 we get by adding delta x, which will be 2 plus 8, which is 10. And x2 we add delta x again, we get 18. And then we're at the end of the integral, so we're done with our x's. The next step is to remember our formula for the trapezoid rule. And the formula for the trapezoid rule is f at x0 divided by 2 plus the sum of all of the middle x sub i's. So f at xi from I equals 1 to n minus 1 plus f at xn all over 2. Remember that the idea is that really we're adding up left and right, and for every single subinterval the left and right repeat because it's the right hand side of once but it's the left hand side of the other, which is why all the 1/2s add up to go away for the middle, but we have it divided by 2 for each of the two ending values, and then all times delta x. Okay, so if n is equal to 2 here, then this sum is actually going to end up being I equal 1 to 1, which means we're just going to have one term. Really how this works is we look at the left-hand one, that goes here. We look at the right-hand one, that goes here. The rest of them are going to go in the middle. In this case, there's only one in the middle. So we have f at x0 over 2 plus f at x1 plus f at x2 over 2. That's what this formula comes down to when n is equal to 2. All multiplied by delta x, which is 8. So that's f at 2 over 2 plus f at 10 plus f at 18 all over 2. All multiplied by delta x. F at 2, that's 2 squared, so that's 4, so that's 32 over 2. F at 10 is 100 times 8 is 800. And f at 18 is 8 times 18 squared all over 2. And then multiplied by 8. And let's just see what we get. $16,896. Let me save these up here. 16,896. So this was the n equal 2. Let's move to n equal 4. The formula here, I should keep that. The formula doesn't change. What's going to change is my delta x, my x's, and then the calculations. If I have n equal 4, the only thing that changes up here is that this becomes a 4. So the delta x is 16 over 4, which is 4. Which means we've added some x's. x1 will be 6, which is 4 more. x2 is 10. x3 is 14. And x4 is 18. Those are my x's. The first and the last end up with a 1/2 of my formula. The middles just go straight function evaluated at that. So that will be f at 2 over 2 plus f at 6 plus f at 10 plus f at 14 plus f at 18 over 2. And then all multiplied by my delta x, which in this case is 4. Again, what did I do? Once I found the x's, I plug in the first and the last into the function with the divided by 2. The rest of them just plug into the function without any divided by 2. So that's f at 2 squared, which is 32 over 2. F at 6 is 8 times 36, and no divided by 2. F at 10 is 8 times 100. F at 14 is 8 times 14 squared, I don't recall, 14 squared. Plus f at 18 is 8 times 18 squared, all over 2. All multiplied by 4. And then we'll see what we got. And we get 15,872. Okay, so let's keep going. One more. N equal 8. If I want n equal 8, the delta x, the only thing that changes is this n over here. 18 minus 2, 16. All over 8 is 2. X0 is the first value, which is, that was a 2 here, which is 2. Then we're going to add 2 each time. And then by n equal 8, we should get to our endpoint of the integral. I'm going to erase the formula so I have some space here, but remember, it's just the first one and the last function value evaluated then divided by 2, and the rest just function value added up. So this will be f at 2 over 2 plus f at 4 plus f at 6 plus f at 8 plus f at 10 plus f at 12 plus f at 14 plus f at 16 plus f at 18 all over 2. And we just plug them in and evaluate and see what we get. When we plug in 2, we get 2 squared, which is 4. That's, as always, 32 over 2. Evaluated at 4, I get 8 times 4 squared plus 8 times 6 squared plus 8 times 8 squared plus 8 times 10 squared plus 8 times 12 squared, 8 times 14 squared, 8 times 16 squared, finally 8 times 18 squared, but that one has a divided by 2. We just see what we get. And don't forget that in the end we also have to multiply this by delta x. Delta x in this case is 2. So whatever you get when you're all done with that, you have to multiply by 2. And we get 14,592. So this one was the n equal 8. finally, let's compare that to the actual value of this area under the curve. If we found the actual integral 2 to 18 of 8x squared dx, we get 8 times x cubed over 3, evaluated from 2 to 18, which is 8 times 18 cubed over 3, minus 8 times 2 cubed over 3. And we end up getting 15,530 and 2/3. And this is the idea with the trapezoid rule.